Hey, GovCon Giant, it's your host, Eric Coffee. Welcome to another episode of the GovCon Giant podcast, and Happy New Year to everyone out there. Today's guest, Mr. Manish Gorawala, is an IT expert, and he helps provide staff augmentation for businesses. So if your business is looking to get into IT industry and you're looking at where can I go to help grow, develop out my staff, reach out to Triforce Consulting today. In this episode, we discuss what does it take to scale your business at any level, and particularly that in the cybersecurity IT space. Mr. Manish also does software development, runs tech incubators, and helps other entrepreneurs such as yourself, empowers you through providing all the services related to IT and cybersecurity. So I'd like for all of you out there to welcome our next upcoming giant, Mr. Manish Karawala. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi Eric. Good morning. My name is Manish Gorawala. I'm the president and CEO with Triforce Consulting Services, based out in Philadelphia,
Okay,
Pennsylvania.
nice. Well, welcome. Thank you for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for doing this interview.
No problem. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Triforce and is there a name? Is there a meaning behind the name Triforce?
Well, I mean, there is a small story behind it, but initially when I had an idea to start a business, my plan was to start business with two of my other friends. So it's like three of us. So it's
Ah,
like, energy coming from three individuals, but I guess my other two friends fell off, and then I had to, uh, do it on my own. But
sure.
now I take it as excellence, integrity, and hard work as three forces behind the success of the business.
Okay. No, that's a good
So
way to look at it. That's a great way to look
yeah,
at
so
it.
that's why it's Triforce. So anyway, my company, we specialize in software development, IT systems integration, data centric applications, data analytics, cybersecurity, software testing, network monitoring, as well as IT staffing.
Okay. And how long have you been at that? How long have you been doing that?
So I started my company in December 2000, so almost 22 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Nice. Nice. And when you initially started, was that what you were doing or did you pivot? I mean, tell us a little bit
Well,
about
I
the
mean,
backstory.
yeah, so the backstory is like I immigrated from India, in 1990 to do my further education in computer science. And
Okay.
after completing my graduation from NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology, I started consulting as an independent consultant with different companies like American Airlines, Merck Pharmaceuticals, other banks. So that's what I did for about 5, 6 years.
Okay.
And with that experience, I realized that the knowledge that I had gained working with all these companies and projects, I can really use that knowledge to kind of work with more similar clients by hiring others in the industry who are knowledgeable with the similar technologies at that time. And I wanted to kind of that way cater all these services to more than one client, whether it's in private sector or government sector.
Okay.
So that was the, more drivers behind it. And at the same time, I wanted to employ others in the industry.
Right.
Uh, so,
Right. Right. Now, I'm looking here. I have your capability statement in front of me.
yeah, sure.
And, again, you mentioned IT staffing. I know that a lot of people have IT staffing needs. How have you finding that changes in the industry from when you started till today? How are
Yeah,
you
so I
helping
mean,
solve those gaps for companies?
Right. So, like with particularly with IT staffing, right? I mean, technology stack keeps on changing. New technology keeps coming in the marketplace. So that way, we have to find the candidates who are really strong in particularly in terms of their knowledge and their experience. So we have the capability. We have big team of IT recruiters in my company where we have the ability to source these candidates who has worked with us in the past for our client projects, and also from their network we can able to tap into some of this talent pool. And we also train our consultants with new technologies, so they are they can be easily put on the client projects, right? And they are ready to basically start giving the benefit of the new technology to the clients and their managers for their projects.
Right. What are some of the new technologies that you're working on today, currently?
So, like right now, we are working a lot with artificial intelligence, like
Okay.
automation, workflow automation, as well as mobile apps technology, something related to NFT and blockchain. So
Okay.
those are some of the technologies. We have also developed our own products as a company, along with the services that Triforce offers. So we have developed a lot of innovative products as well
Okay.
in the area of one of the very uh, interesting product that my company is currently developing is for supplier diversity compliance management system. So we are working on that. We're going to be launching that probably in a month or two. And then we have also developed some other products around cloud-based software as a service mobile CRM platform called M-Leads. And then some of the other product is for events management, like online events management, ticketing, and access to facilities. So those kind of products also we have developed. And yeah.
Let me ask you now, have you developed any software products for the government that they use?
Well, we did customize one product that, the events management software that I talked about.
Okay.
So we had one project or the contract that we received with US Army. So they had the need to host events on their base, but their needs was also with some security in mind to host those events, and controlling the access to the base, prior to attendees coming to the event. So we customize our software product for to fit their needs, right?
Okay.
And then that's what gave. So it's like we have this product called Secure Events. So it basically allows client to securely access the facility before they can access to come to the events.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a very unique product we have.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I just want to give people perspective of some of the types of things that you've done and
Yes. Yes.
supporting the mission for the, Department of Defense.
Correct.
So
Right. Yeah.
let me ask you a different question. I noticed that you have some prime contract vehicles. You want to talk about
Right.
those?
Yeah, sure. So, like initially, I started getting into the government contracting around 2006, 2007.
Okay.
I remember very first time I attended a seminar with the local GSA office, in Philadelphia, and that's where I learned, how to basically get onto the GSA contract and how can I apply for the SBA 8A program. So I
Okay.
worked whatever I learned from those seminars, I kind of applied and start applying to get onto the GSA schedule as well as 8A. And then along parallel to that, I started working with another large defense contractor as a subcontractor,
Okay.
on their contract. And I knew somebody who worked for that large company. So they gave me the opportunity to work as on their contract as a sub,
Okay.
on their contract with NAV sub with US Navy,
Okay.
at Philadelphia Navy Yard.
Okay.
So that was the first break that we got to start working with, and getting that past performance.
Right.
That was very essential, right? And then that same company also helped us get on the Navy CPOD contract, as a contract.
Ah, okay.
They also helped us, and then I kind of started hiring a couple proposal writers, to start writing proposals that comes out from Navy CPOD, or GSA, or City of Philadelphia, right?
Right.
So with those efforts, very surprisingly, like the very first big win, and the very significant win that I achieved was, right around when the market was crashing, in 2008,
Yes.
2009,
Uh-huh.
around September,
Right.
August, September timeframe.
Yep.
So at that time, I had put in a proposal as a prime on Navy C4E against the task order, right? And then
Sure.
I was driving, the last day of September 30th, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yes.
received a call from the contracting officer saying
Uh-huh.
that, hey, you got a 3-year long contract, as a prime.
Wow.
And yeah, and it was a pretty good sized contract. So
Excellent.
that really helped,
Yes.
and that kind of gave us a big break. So that was a project to support Navy's web-based application,
Okay.
data warehouse, and data analytics, right? And then because of that contract, we were able to get another contract with City of Philadelphia, like prison systems. So we
Okay.
we were able to get on a very important project for the city, supporting their prison management system, and
Okay.
developing data analytics systems so they can make some smart decisions.
Right, right. Wow. Wow, that sounds
Yeah.
exciting. And
Yes.
part of what I do is I help people to showcase that because this is a great example. While the world was like everything was falling apart, you had just picked up a significant contract to help your
Right.
business.
Exactly. And then, on that note, all I want to say is that it's all about, you gotta stay in the game. You
Right,
gotta stay in
absolutely.
the game. You can't, get discouraged.
Right.
And then trust me, like when I got these contracts, right, I did not even know. I had not even done my business development. Like I did not even know who the client is, who the customer
Oh my
is.
goodness.
I was just writing proposals, putting my best effort in there, right, based on my previous, private,
Sure. Clients
organization,
right. And yeah,
clients, and the work that I had done, right?
right.
Just throwing those proposals over the fence, and hoping that somebody will see the value in what I have done, and believing in myself, or believing in my ability to at least execute the contracts if I get it right.
Right.
And so that is the key, that is the key.
No, that's great. No, that's great tips. Um, that's really good. Now, like you said, I'm very excited. And like you said, you stay in the game. You start in 2000, so now you're 8 years in, and you got your first really significant win. But it probably
Right.
came at a time where you needed it the most.
Exactly, you are right. You
Yeah,
you I really needed it the most,
right,
because at that time, I was really struggling,
right.
and to get some new clients, and
Sure.
yeah,
I mean,
so
everyone was struggling to
really
get anyone to buy anything at that time. So
correct, right.
to
And
spend
I
money.
was really trying to figure it out how to take my business to the next level,
Right.
beyond few employees, and that really gave the break.
Right. What one of the things that I questions I like to ask business owners is um, what is something that was hard that you used to do back then that's still hard today when you first started?
Yeah, so I guess the hardest thing it is when I started was also just what I just said, which is getting the new clients,
Okay.
getting the new clients, getting the break or getting the entry into the door of big companies or big, government agencies, or and getting on the contract, right? So that was the hardest thing, and I guess it is still the hardest thing now. It's just the business development is hard, selling is hard, and but I'm still, whatever I have learned along the way, I have applied those lessons and implemented some technologies and implemented some strategies to alleviate some of those pain points what it used to be, to make it a little bit better, right? But it is still hard. That's always a challenge as a small business, as your resources are limited compared to large companies.
Right. Right. Well, I noticed that you made the Inc. 500 last year. The Inc. 5000
Yeah,
was. Yep.
yeah, we
And then
made
you're
it on
making
the
it this year.
yeah, we have total so far 4 times on Inc. 5000.
I noticed that. Wow, that's
Yes,
incredible.
yes. And we are also one of the fastest growing in Philadelphia, 100 fastest growing companies, like 6 times winners. So last year I was ranked second on that list.
Wow.
So yeah,
So you're figuring it out.
yes, I'm figuring it out. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I said, it's still a learning process. I'm still learning and applying things what I need to apply, whether in terms of investing in technology or investing in hiring right talent and delegating some of these tasks from different areas of the business, right? And I guess another biggest thing what helped me was in 2015, I decided to do the 10K SB program from Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
So I'm an alumni of 10K, 10,000
Right.
small business, program. Like it's an entrepreneurial MBA program,
Right.
sponsored by Goldman Sachs. So that
Sure.
really helped evaluate all areas of the business, and that also help understand, like, okay, what are the best techniques and strategies I need to look at my business. And then kind of the biggest thing I learned from that program is like how not to work in the business but on the business,
Right. Sure.
and that basically helped me start delegating a lot of tasks which I used to handle myself to different, hiring the right talent for the employees to handle those tasks, you know. So
No,
that
that's
way
good.
I can work on the business and
Right.
not in a day-to-day
Roll.
operational activities so much.
Absolutely. No. Now it's kind of a different line of questioning. Are you, obviously you're doing really well. I happen to know, again, we met some of the same people in our paths. What other types of partners are you looking for currently to take your business to the next level? What type of partners would you like? What kind of companies would you like to partner with? Large businesses. What type of companies do you want that you, if
Right.
ideally you want to come into your ecosystem so you can
Yeah,
grow and
so I mean,
scale?
I would definitely like to partner with some of the large corporations
Okay.
to get on to their contracts as a subcontractor, as a small business. Plus, I'm also looking for teaming with service disabled veteran owned business or
Okay.
hub zone certified
Okay.
businesses to join in with their team as a teaming partner.
Okay.
Also some companies who are on a GSA 8A stars 3, as we are no longer 8A because we have been graduated, so right.
Right.
So I'm
Okay.
trying to find some right companies who has
Okay.
experience in systems integration, cybersecurity assessments,
Okay.
data centric applications, data analytics. So those
Okay.
kind of companies are the right fit, or someone needs help with IT staffing,
Sure.
so we can help, join their team and support their effort.
Okay. Okay. No, and I have a few people that I could think of that are on 8A Stars 3.
Right.
Actually, from my podcast list, I think we have 12 guests of mine that are currently on 8A
Oh,
Stars 3.
oh,
Um,
that'd be great.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we definitely have our own alumni that's part of 8A Stars 3. So
I see.
you're tapping into another good network here.
No, that's great. I'm very excited,
Yeah,
Eric.
no, you're tapping into another good network. Uh, Tell us, have any of your projects, have you worked on um, anything uh, like you told us kind of where you took your first foray, but anything notable that we might recognize, like anything disaster relief or any other kind of exciting projects that we might like say, oh, okay, I remember that happened. Anything notable?
Well, I guess the one of the biggest thing I mentioned, which is the project that I did for the Navy, right? That was a BRAC PMO office. Like they were really looking for some good company to help them, uh, build a system where they can really look at their data and perform some analytics, so the management of the organization can make some smart decisions, and that would help them reduce their cost and make their management of all these efforts of base realignment and closure, more manageable, right? So that's where we really help the agency to make that dent, right? The
Gotcha.
another thing that we were able to do was also helping City of Philadelphia prison systems, because they were up against, because of the increase in crime back in 2008-9, they were up against a lot of prison population was increasing, so they were trying to figure out ways to give them some insight into their population data, so they can make some decisions about how to move certain prison population into halfway house or some sort of
Right.
community training and things like that, right? So what we did for them was very impactful, right? That saved them millions of dollars, against possible lawsuits against the city government agencies, right?
Right. Makes
And
sense.
yeah, so those are the some of the impactful thing we have been able to do. And like this particular application that I talked about, which is the securely organizing the events, right? And the system that we provided to army, that was also very helpful, because they were really struggling to control the traffic at the gate,
Okay.
on the day of the events, graduation events that they were hosting. They
Okay.
usually, they would have like almost 4,000 visitors, so they
Wow.
were trying to reduce that, you know um, those issues, and then
Right.
security is also one of their major concern, right? So that's what our system was able to really help them better manage all those processes and workflow, to manage those events efficiently, right, and securely.
Okay. No, that's great. Uh, let's just change the subject a little bit. If you were not doing this, what do you think you'd be doing?
Well, if I'm not doing this, I mean, I would be at least still be involved with some, sort of technology, or other areas of my interest is also into field of finance, so that I might look into doing something there,
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
And yeah, and I come from entrepreneurial, family background,
Oh, really?
so yes, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so growing up, I mean, as I mentioned, I grew up in India, right? And until I was 20, 20, and
What part of India?
uh, near western part of India, near
Okay.
south of Mumbai.
Okay. South of Mumbai. Okay. Just
So
for people that
yeah,
may know, give them some context.
yeah. So I'm from the state of Gujarat, which is south of Mumbai,
Okay.
and I did my associates. I did my study until associates in computer science over there. And growing up, my dad was also in business. He was also an entrepreneur. A lot of my other family members, uncles, and other family members were also in small business, right? So I
Right.
grew up around that environment of how to what kind of challenges business owner face by uh, being in association with my dad, joining in some of his business meetings, learning from some of his conversations with his business
Uh,
friends, right? And I was always, since I was around 12, 13, I would always tag along with my dad,
nice.
go to his office, whenever I get time, or drive around with him, right? So that really kind of helped me see the benefit of being as an entrepreneur, because that gives you the the freedom and flexibility to manage your own time rather
Right.
than being um, managed by others, right? And then
Absolutely.
that also gave me how to be more uh, thinking wise, how could you be more progressive minded, or
Right.
so that way you can learning all those skills of managing your own time, and being uh, particular about certain things, and also how to basically do more with less resources, right? So that is one of the biggest lessons I learned, which is, okay, how can you do, and that is one of the biggest mantra that I have, that I always follow, since I started in the business, or even before that, in all areas of, business and personal life, that how can you do more? How can you achieve more with less resources? So that way you always try to find creative ways, or maybe, if something is takes if some activities takes 10 steps, then I always try to figure it out, that okay, how can I do it with 5 steps,
Mm,
what can I do, right? And so those kind of things, I always look at every area of the business, or personal challenges, that when try to figure it out, whether I can employ some technology, or whether I can build my own system, or build my own process. And those are the things really is very important for becoming successful as a business owner, and that's what my advice to any other entrepreneurs.
no, that's wonderful. That actually, that's really good because that's one of the things that I ask you to. Do you do any type of reflections on your business, like maybe quarterly or annually, where you look back at, what
Yeah,
did
so
you
I
want to
mean,
achieve and how did it work out for you?
yeah, so I always, I mean, I have created like a dashboard, in
Okay.
my business, right? So I try to track different things, on a monthly basis, or quarterly basis, and then based on that, I can either add more strategic, actions that I need to take in different areas of the business, whether it's administratively, operationally, technology wise, security wise. So those are the things. And also from the business growth perspective. I try to look at how am I doing, from the revenue perspective, or from the profitability perspective, or what can I do to improve my bottom line, and those kind of things, I review quarterly, and then annually I try to assess, like, okay, did I meet my goals, yearly goals, and how much I was able to achieve,
No, that's good.
and
No, that's wonderful. Um,
right.
Tell me, and I know we're running out of time here. Tell me something, a recent purchase you made on Amazon.
Well, on Amazon, let's see, mostly it's just the stuff for my daughter, because she was going to college.
Okay.
She started college
Okay.
this summer. I mean, this fall.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of stuff related to her move.
Right. Moving in a dorm. Is she moving in a dorm or she has an apartment?
No, she's at the dorm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're sending her stuff to the
So
dorm.
yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff related to that. Some technology related stuff. But
No, that's okay. You know, what I find is that, again, see, I didn't know you had a daughter in college. So I would not have
yeah,
known that if I didn't ask the question. Does that make sense?
right. Yes,
So
yes.
that's nice. Okay. Nice. You have any other kids in college or graduated college recently?
Well, my elder son, he already graduated.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Where's she going to school?
My son.
Your daughter. Your daughter.
Oh yeah, she's at Schreier's Honors.
Where's
You
that?
know,
Up in Philadelphia?
at Penn State. At
Oh, in
Penn
Penn
State.
State. Ah, okay.
Yeah, Penn
Okay.
State. Yeah,
All right. Penn
yeah,
State. Nice. Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Well, why don't you tell the audience, right? For all the small business owners that are listening to this, you want to leave them with anything that they can take from your experiences over the last 20 years?
Yeah, I would say, like anybody like who wants to get into their own small business, my advice is, like, once you have some experience in whatever expertise or whatever line of professional field you are into, first you want to gain some experience by working 4 or 5 years, right? And then once you have some experience under your belt, then you want to, during those years, it's very important that you have some savings, right? So you can fall back on, in order for you to completely, go on your own and not rely on that, paycheck to paycheck, and
Right.
then and then also you don't want to right away plunge into, like, totally managing your business. You want to slowly transition from wherever you are working. You might want to do uh, your regular job along with whatever business you want to start on
Right.
the side. And then once you get some enough clients, under your business idea, whatever you have, then you want to take the full time commitment, right, to
Right.
the business, right? So
Sure.
slowly you can transition, and that way the success for staying in the business is more compared to you really just jump right in.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, Manish, listen, thank you so much for your time. Everything that we have that we discussed today, we're going to have that on our website, link to it. I forgot to ask you
Sure.
one other thing. Is there anything
Yeah.
books or any other lessons? I know you mentioned Goldman Sachs. Is there any books or quotes, anything that you live by or operate by that you use?
Uh, yeah, I would say, like, I like this book, Think and Grow Rich,
Okay. That's a famous
and
one.
then Zero to One, so those are
Yep.
some of the good books.
That's a good one. I
Yeah,
like that. I
and
like that.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's a
Oh
good
man,
one.
you got all the good ones. That's right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So those
All
are
right.
some of the good ones, and
Yeah.
so yeah,
No. Well, Manish, listen, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time today. I'm happy that we were finally able to connect and do this
sure.
interview. And we look forward to connecting with you. And then also, like I said, I do have some people we could talk offline about that I can make some introductions as well. Okay.
Right, right. No, thank you so much, Eric.
No,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Bye now.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.